I'm joined now by Shamil Idriss, the CEO of Research for Common Ground, a peacekeeping group based in Washington, D.C. So great to see you. I mean, to underscore all of this and the height in which this has reached, we're talking about a 21-year-old Cornell University junior who was arrested and faces federal charges now in connection with online posts and threats against Jewish students. So, college campuses have long been a place, to host and even foster social justice movements. So is what we're seeing on campuses today of the Israel-Hamas conflict different or in step with historical conflicts on campus, in your view?
Well, thanks for having me, Fred. And yes, at Search for Common Ground, we've had a lot of experience with youth activism for social change. And as you point out, actually, whenever fundamental change, really fundamental, even radical change is needed on almost any social or political issue, young adults are almost always the ones to initiate it. This is why they're oftentimes, the big heroes of driving these kinds of changes. Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, they all were called radicals, and they all really made their mark in their early 20s. King was 26 when he led the bus boycott. Mandela was only 25 when he established the youth wing of the African National Congress, and Gandhi was only 24 when he established the Natal Indian Congress in South Africa before returning to India. So you're right. There's this. There's not only a tradition, but it's almost a tautology. It's almost always started by young adults. Unfortunately, what's happening on college campuses today in the U.S. Is reflective of what's happening in our society more broadly. And so young adults who are arriving on college campus today, who are growing up with an incredibly adversarial and hate-filled political discourse, popular culture, certainly the social media that all of this generation has grown up with, doesn't prepare them particularly well for what is, for most of them, the most diverse community they've ever been a part of. And so, yes, you have, on the one hand, the horrible incidences that you talked about, violence, outright violence, vandalism, swastikas on Jewish center walls, on the campus just a couple miles from my home, an anonymous death threat against a Palestinian administration member. And so we are seeing that. I will say it is nonetheless gratifying that most of what we're seeing is not only nonviolent, but is not engaging in that kind of dehumanizing, threatening, doxing kind of behavior.
So and you made reference to, from civil rights movement to Vietnam War to LGBTQ, related issues, these movements are expressed on campus. But now, particularly as we highlight the case, out of Cornell, with an arrest involving a student facing a federal hate crime. I mean, is this just the beginning as this conflict in the Middle East seems far from over? Or is it your worry or concern that there will, be other incidents that rise to that level?
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, this war has been obscene from the very start. From the attacks, the slaughters committed by Hamas on October 7th, unspeakable attacks that were entirely unjustified, to 2,000-pound bombs being dropped this week on a refugee camp, densely populated urban centers, and as a result, we're not going to have, peace isn't just made in the antiseptic halls of the back rooms in Geneva or whatever. It's also made by people who are deeply affected, deeply traumatized by the violence, coming into contact with one another and figuring out a better way forward. I am absolutely concerned that we'll see more extremist violence, threats, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia. Unfortunately, Fred, as I think and I think you've covered, long before this war, we were already seeing years of increases in this kind of hate-filled rhetoric on campuses and in our society more generally here in the U.S. So this is only fueling that. But I do think it's very important to highlight those incidences, which are actually in the majority, where not only have campuses done the right thing in terms of a no-tolerance policy for that kind of violence and intimidation, but where oftentimes the campus and even the students have taken the lead in reaching out across dividing lines. The Jewish students reaching out to Muslim students, issuing joint statements, Muslim and Christian students reaching out to escort Jewish students who feel understandably uncomfortable on certain campuses right now. And a lot of activism that isn't reported on as much as the hate-filled activism that we really need to support and amplify.
Quickly, is there something different that you think leadership on college campuses should be doing to get ahead of what is likely to be, more, I guess, conflict of opinion?
Yeah, I think there are two things that campuses have to do. And in fact, we quickly set up a resource center, not even just with our own resources, just for anyone who wants to help address this issue, campusunite.org, with some of the resources that we've seen out there that help colleges to do this. They have, on the one hand, absolutely have to do everything to prevent the violence, intimidation, vandalism intended to threaten or intimidate. And when those things regrettably do happen, to respond to them in a way that first and foremost takes care of the vulnerable communities and make sure that they have that solidarity from the campus leadership, the university leadership and those students. And in addition to doing that, they really have to, you're inheriting students coming in from such an adversarial political discourse in our country. You have to give students the experience and invest in them, train them to actually engage in civil discourse. And I will just say to you, the campuses that have done that, some of the tools that they've used are at that campusunite.org site. They are not seeing nearly the same kind of vitriol played out in the way that it is on campuses that haven't prepared in that way. I'll end with one thing. One of the things that we've seen with college students everywhere is that the single most important experience for them to have in order to embrace being a constructive member of their diverse campus is not the experience of being agreed with all the time. It's actually the experience of being heard and respected. And what people do when they don't feel heard and respected is they double down all the more and things become much more. And so if you can give students the experience and the skills to facilitate those kinds of conversations, they can actually lead the way to a much more constructive and drive some of the fundamental change that on this conflict is really needed.
Shamil Idriss, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.